And that includes, of course, our good friends over at the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. And joining me right now via Zoom is their Executive Director, Suzanne Levine. Suzanne, welcome to the MegaCast.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am good. How are you, Suzanne?
Well, I'm managing like everyone else, trying to stay positive and do what I can to help our community during these very difficult times.
How's your family been holding up? I know that you're very close with your family. You see them very often. In the past, you've mentioned weekend dinners with them. How are you getting through that with them during these times and maintaining your physical distancing?
It's been very difficult, but we've been doing a lot of Zoom. Thank God for Zoom. Someone told me today that their stock has risen like 500%.
I'm not
I
surprised.
guess that had we all known, we could have invested in that, right? But we've been just trying to stay in touch the best that we can. Trying to stay safe and make sure that we're not infecting anyone and that sort of thing. Just what everyone else is trying to do to manage to get through these times. And hopefully, although things will probably never really be back the same way, hopefully we can start to reopen business in the next couple months so that not only are we surviving physically, but we can survive economically.
In West Bloomfield, with the businesses that your organization's involved with, I know that the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce really emphasizes networking and communication and helping out each other's businesses. How is that being maintained during this? How are your local businesses that are members in your chamber, how are they holding up, Suzanne?
Well, some of them are really struggling because they really, some of the smaller exercise places because, they can't do what they normally do where they get people into their establishment. The local restaurants are at least having, quite a bit of, people coming in, and I've been trying to encourage people to go and patronize it. And I know, speaking for myself, I'm really tired of cooking every day. So I'm trying to patronize them as much as possible. But I'm also trying to, reach out individually and connect them to people that they may be able to still do some business. The chamber is also instituting a couple of free programs where we're going to teach a Google class. I'm going to advertise it in an e-blasting website, how to get your name out there, how to learn how to do that, whether it's via YouTube or social media. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help our local businesses stay vibrant so that when we do finally reopen, however that looks, that they're still around. We need these small local businesses.
We absolutely do. It's vital to our economy. It's vital to our community. They're great community partners. They get involved in the community. I know from working with them through my work at Civic Center TV that they're heavily involved in charitable work and community-oriented work. So keeping them supported is absolutely vital to the continuity of our community. So you mentioned that that the chamber is going to be offering some classes via Google. So who's going to be teaching these classes? Is it going to be local experts from in the chamber? Are you bringing people in?
Well, we partnered with Google. We're one of the few chambers that really jumped on it immediately. We had this fabulous social media expert that's our current vice president, Vito Kukuro. He owns Fox Momentum, and he has been doing all these amazing things on Facebook. I don't know if you've noticed, but anytime a member joins or renews, he makes a little video that he puts on Facebook for them and on LinkedIn and on Twitter and on Instagram. So he's going to be spearheading that because he's the expert. I'm just going to be the medium to offer it. And then from there, we're going to start offering different webinars and breakout sessions for the community. It can be chamber members or not, but I'm really going to try to do whatever I can to give people more information. I mean, every day we know that there's things from the governor and our representatives, about the small business loans and everything else. But I think people need other information because they can get that information if they Google it. I think they need to know how to stay vibrant, how to stay in the public eye. So we're going to start trying to teach these classes. Normally you would do that with our business innovation generator, our BIG, where we bring in a notable speaker. And Civic Center TV has been great. You've been covering those, but since we can't do those, we're going to figure out another way to get the information to the people that need it. The small business and medium businesses don't have the human resources. They don't have the social media expertise. So we're going to try to offer that to them so that, when we do start to really reopen, we know that business is not going to be the same. And they may have to adopt these new procedures in order to continue doing business in the community.
Information is power, and I know from going to your business innovation generator meetings and from watching our stories on civiccentertv.com, from the splash that we've done at those stories. It's very informative and it's very open, and it's a communication tool, and it really does seem to help these businesses. I've seen businesses that have been new to the chamber and new to the community that have come to these meetings and learned something, and I've watched them apply it too. So that's really great that that's going on, and that your chamber's working to provide that information, because just like anything else, whether it be information on how we are maybe flattening the curve, or how to better physical distance, or better protect yourself from contagions when you're out in the public doing necessary tasks. Information for businesses is absolutely essential. So these classes, you said, they're not just for your chamber members, they're open to anybody that would be interested. If people are interested in participating in these classes, or maybe teaching some of them, how can they get in contact with you? How can they get involved?
Well, probably in the next day or so, we're going to put something on the website, www.westbloomfieldchamber.com. I'm going to send out e-blasts, or they can contact me through wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com. They can call me because I do frequently check phone messages, 248-626-3636. But if they email me, that's the best way, wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com. Or again, go to our West Bloomfield chamber.com and get all the information. April 29th is the first class that we're going to be teaching on this, Google My Business. And we're going to have several courses. Google offers these amazing different classes. The first one is going to be, how to spread the word and how to create a YouTube channel and how to get the viewership. And then we'll be teaching other ones. And if people have an idea of something they'd like to learn, I'm more than willing to, listen to it and try to adapt to it, because we know, Tyler, just like you have learned, everyone's going to have to reinvent their business. I mean, I've always said that from day one before any of this happened. The old ways of doing business are not necessarily going to work anymore. So we all have to have a strategic plan, and that's where the chamber comes into. We're happy to have a phone conversation or a Zoom conversation about how we can help their businesses adapt to this new brave world, if you want to call it.
It's an absolutely great program. It's a wonderful idea, and I'm sure it's going to really help these businesses. I'm not a businessman myself, but I'm someone that does like to engage in strategic thinking, and just thinking in the business's shoes. Information is power. Learning new skills is vital, especially in a day like today where your business really has to go online for the most part, unless you have one of those essential services. So
you are in the business. You are in the business of providing information, and how you package that information and how you present it is really important. And Civic Center TV has done a phenomenal job of not only being on the pulse of what's going on locally, but regionally as well. So I want to thank you. I do want to mention one other thing. We just initiated our Unsung Hero program. It went out the other day. I've already have one nominee. Anyone who's nominated is going to win, and we're going to send out an e-blast, and I'm trying to work with some of the local restaurants and businesses to offer this person, maybe a free meal or a gift card, or a discount on services, because these are unsung heroes. It could be obviously our medical professional, but it could be someone in your neighborhood that gets groceries for you because you're unable to go out, or maybe it's a restaurant clerk, or someone who brings out the food with a smile to you. So it really could be anyone, and we're hoping to show some appreciation for all these people that really put their lives at risk by serving our community when we really should be staying at home.
they are doing great things, and it's good for us to be recognizing people that are going out of their way in the community to help other people, especially in this time. We've done a kind of a similar sort of thing with our Person of the Week segment on Civic Center TV, and to look into the business community and to help these people who are doing great things for the community while they're also having their own struggles
Right.
in the meantime too, this is tough for everybody.
Right.
So if someone wants to get involved and knows somebody that's doing something great and wants to nominate them, what's the process to get that going, to get that information out there, and what is the chamber looking for to really move this program forward and into overdrive?
Well, I think it would be great if we could even partner with you and give you some of these people, sort of send the connection along for them to be person of the week. But again, if they go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, if they want to email me directly, that's what someone did immediately when they got the email at wbloomfieldchamber.com and just, wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com. If they just send me the information, we were asking for if they have a picture, that would be great. And so just a little brief description of what this person does, their name, and their contact info, and then that's it. I mean, it's that simple. Because we know that grateful attitude, equals gratitude. And I think that's what we have to show everyone today. We have to let people know how important they are and what role they're playing in, keeping us all, alive, whether it's economically or physically or emotionally. I think it's really important, and that's why we created this program.
Suzanne
Okay.
Levine from the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce on the MegaCast on 88.1 WBFH, 89.3 WBLD Lakes FM, and 89.5 WAHS Avondale Community Radio on the MegaCast. Suzanne, before I let you go, just one last question. We've mentioned it during this interview. A lot of the business community is struggling during this. You having interacted with businesses of all different success levels throughout your career, throughout your time involved with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, you've seen things that have gone well and things that haven't gone well and how these companies have adapted. So in these trying times, what advice do you have for businesses, not only in Greater West Bloomfield, but all throughout Oakland County and our listening area that may be struggling? What can they do?
Well, I think number one, they have to just be open to reinventing their business and rethinking how they deal with their customers. And we know that an unhappy employee, whoever's in your front line, if they're not happy, they could ruin your business. So I think it's really important for employers to make sure that if they can't pay people, and we know that very few people feel they, are really receiving what they deserve, make sure you express gratitude, however you do it. Whether it's a small token, whether it's a gift card, whether it's a thank you. I think, making sure that your employees know how greatly you appreciate what they're doing every day is really important. And also, making sure that if you're not involved in a chamber, trying to find other ways to think about strategic partners to help you connect. I think that's what separates our chambers, that I'm a business matchmaker, and one of our newest members, Alex Ho with Puro Clean Restoration, joined a couple days ago, and I've already connected him to 10 prospective clients just through creative, strategic thinking about who would be good for him to meet with. I don't know if any of these will translate to business, but I've certainly tried to do due diligence and think about who would be a good partner for him. So I think my message would be, make sure that you start to rethink about when you reopen, how does that look? How does your business plan look? Figure out who you can talk to about that, and make sure your employees are really treated well. I think that's the most important thing.
I think that's great advice, Suzanne. Thank you very much for saying that. Suzanne Levine of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. She's their executive director, and they're doing great things there. Suzanne, thank you for joining us on the MegaCast today.
Thank you again for all you do, Tyler and Dave and Jeff and Larry and anyone I may have forgotten.
Thank you, Suzanne. We appreciate that. That's Suzanne Levine.